ZXV and Ace.
Ace. There's a few aces, so I'm not sure if this is a South Australian player or not. South Australian ace, alright.
Is he a Marth?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So we'll have the Marth Sheik, unless Bright decides to play
Marth Dittos. Nah, I think he'll go Sheik. Get it done with.
Yeah.
I love Bright. I love Bright, and I love Bright's gameplay as well.
He's a very interesting player. He's I think he's second PR in Sydney?
Yeah, he'd be a second PR in Sydney.
He's been playing for a very long time. Super.
Yeah, been playing since Brawl. Started as a Brawl player, I do believe.
Okay.
And yeah, he's not like a smothering type player. Being a Sheik main, that's kind of how you will approach the game a lot of the time. But I just love seeing a player so conscious of using walk in really intelligent places for movement. And baiting out options when you're right next to each other.
He's a very intuitive user game.
Yeah, very, very smart. It's very common sense, right? That we all kind of lose sometimes, getting caught up in all our shield pressure and our combos and stuff.
He brings it right back. And he's just like,
they've made you able to walk in this game. That's, and micro spacing and fade back neutral airs at all the right times, so.
Ace has got the game face on, very determined.
Yeah. Well, this would be a really, really, really big win if he could pull this off, so.
For sure. So
ZXV probably second off. I assume the second seed of this whole tournament.
Yeah, I'd pick it.
So.
It'd probably go Nick.
Nick, ZXV, Miles. Yeah.
And then Kai, I think? Kai's fourth?
Perhaps, yeah.
Man behind the computer and the Falco. So
we've got a bit of a hand warmer going on at the moment.
Where do you think they'll go to? Battlefield, probably. I mean, most people just go there by default.
Yeah, probably. We had this conversation the other day about, like, Sheik's not very good on FD.
No.
Marth does not want to go to Dreamland.
No.
Yoshi's pretty up in the air in my opinion, but I think it's really hard to use needles on.
Yeah, and you can't go deep as Sheik. You can't edge guard the same way because the floor is so much lower.
Yeah, and with the platforms covering the edge, you don't have needles either. So you lose two things. You can't replace them with, you know what I mean, each other. You have to.
And of course, you die earlier.
Yeah, and Marth's sword covering a lot of the stage does not help.
I'm not a fan of FOD as Marth in this matchup against the Sheik.
Yeah, no, Marth definitely does not want to go to FOD here. So yeah, I think Battlefield for sure is where we should end up in this matchup. Player preference always could play a huge part in it. So we'll see if Ace disagrees on any of those things. They've already gone to Battlefield though, so it's probably what's random at the moment.
Sora looking very excited in the background.
Arms crossed, lip bitten.
Oh, it's a good event. I really like this place.
Yeah, I like the venue. It's so much colder inside the venue than outside, and that's really impressive considering how many Smash bodies there are packed in here. So,
well, tomorrow's meant to be over 30 degrees, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh boy.
I think I'm just rocking a singlet.
Yeah.
It'll be that much easier.
Singlet thongs, for sure. So Battlefield, was that? Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Pretty standard. Oh, off to a rocky start. So,
unsafe aerial from Bright.
Sheik has a very, very strong punish game on Marth.
Yeah.
And things like needles and just a back air off edge that can kill Marth's momentum, just ruin him.
And for Marth, it's a bit of a stressful endeavor trying to combo Sheik because of neutral air and things like that.
Oh, for sure.
She really only becomes super vulnerable when she's out of her double jump.
Yeah, and low percentage crouch cancel destroys Marth.
Yeah.
I mean, even just crouch cancel jab, grab, that sort of thing. He's just really good.
I would have liked to see an up tilt there. Just no reads, just get the next one. Takes the first stock though. Alright. Let's go Ace. Oh, I just realized something amazing. Ace and ZXV are backwards alphabetically. Like Z is the last letter of the alphabet, A is the first, C is the third, X is the third last. And just saying, that's for anyone interested.
I would have not picked that. That's legit. Fun facts.
Spot dodge, he nets him off the grab there. But
I would have liked to see him go for a few more up airs. It's pretty much the best thing that's confirmed.
Man, he's getting the percentance next up. Oh. Should pretty much always, grab the edge
roll up.
Sheik. Oh yeah, Anders was showing me this thing recently that Lord Anders had discovered first, which was you can, or I started using first, I should say. You can hit the wall with your up B, and so you start the up B at the same time, but you hover for slightly later by hitting the wall.
Okay.
It means you can't just use the tap up to cover everything and still get the on-stage punish. So you have to actually call it, like, read it.
Yeah. I would have liked to see a neutral air from the edge,
Up tilt?
right, instead of the back air.
Yeah, S smash, cool. As long as the S smash hits, I agree with it over up tilt. That's my rule.
Yeah. Ace actually doing
he's doing splendid.
A bit worried about him going off the ledge like that, but
yeah, but he survives with the nicking the edge of the forward air. Doesn't jump straight away, dodging Sheik's forward air there, so that was really good as well. But gets hit by up B. I also wonder how much experience Ace has with flow rats. Probably the second best active Sheik.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Being in his state, so he'd have a bit of experience in this. Oh, that's going to be brutal. Oh, it doesn't roll. There's nothing she couldn't make it to stage from there. You don't have to like time it.
No,
you just
definitely
roll. Not. That's so unfortunate.
Right, uncharacteristically dropping a few edge guards.
Yeah. Well, the last one he went for was actually hella tight, like doing the needle turnaround off stage and trying to back air and not get hit by Marth, you know.
But all the time it seems like he can just simplify it a little bit more. It seems like he's going for a bit too much.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Ooh. Nice.
I would have liked to see up throw though. Even just keeping Sheik
Ace is doing so well this match to not take too much damage for needles as well.
Oh, for sure. I mean, a lot of times you get hit by needles, you're just going to get followed up on.
You end up looking like you've been on the wrong side of a sewing machine at the end of a Sheik matchup sometimes.
Going for the strong roll read F smash, top platform.
Yeah, ZXC's jumping to the top platform a lot. I'd like to see Ace catch onto that and preemptively jump up there with an up tilt.
The only downside is if Sheik shield drop forward.
Yeah, if you get hit by the mix up as well, that's why you got to jump before it happens because you're calling it out for already having it happened so many times before.
Yeah.
It's definitely a very scary thing to do first. So to just start chasing Sheik in the air when you don't know what she's going to do.
Straight back to battlefield.
Sensible.
I guess Bright would have banned Yoshi's.
I mean, Stadium I can see.
It's very
maybe
nice
being better,
dance.
but ooh, yeah, okay. Gets the up tilt.
It seems like he's not reacting to the Sheik. He's just trying to get the up tilts in like covering 2 of the 3 options on the platform.
Yeah, well that's kind of what up tilt's for. Like up tilt's much easier to get than the F smash.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but you could also walk a little bit and actually react to it, opposed to just going for like the hard up tilt underneath.
That's true.
But as I was saying before, Waveland on the platform grab is still amazing. Because if you up throw a Sheik from there, she's so high off the ground already. Nice F smash.
Yeah, Ace has been really patient with these sequences so far here. This is all reactionary, and it has been since the first hit where he walked towards the edge. ZXV was in knockdown, and he just baited the roll in and F smashed it, and that's how that transitioned into that kill just there. So
taking a clean first stock.
Starting to be a bit more reactive here. Ooh, interesting grab.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Needle into...
Sees the window. Ace not aware of it, you know.
Yeah. And just like that, Marth's dead.
Oh! Whoa! I think ZXV agreed with you there.
Yeah.
And
well, generally, if Marth loses momentum off stage, it's pretty much over.
Ooh. Wow. Gets that forward air out. Really nice.
One really annoying thing you do as Marth, like most Marths do, is they shield. Because against the spacing and stuff like that in the neutral, you're going to shield when someone runs you. Against Sheik, it's one of the worst things you do because they get a grab. And the grab against Marth is so strong.
Oh, this tech chase from Bright. Yeah, leads into the forward air. Needles? Yeah, that was also good.
Oh.
I thought he would F tilt there.
Yeah. Yeah, he did the F tilt.
Ace is doing good so far to make it back to this. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very strong.
That'll do it.
I'm surprised he hasn't gone for more back airs off the ledge. Because it's just
as Sheik. Yeah, for sure. And you can re-grab ledge as well with Sheik doing that. So I don't know how applicable that is actually for Marth and the height that Marth will come from. But Ace is getting a bit scared to go off stage to edgeguard Sheik here. Starting to flub a bit too. Air dodge into spot dodge.
Yeah, he's losing his composure a little bit. That was very patient of him though.
Well, I think that was him losing his composure and ZXV not capitalizing on it and letting him get a bit of momentum back with grab there. But yeah, he's still flubbing so much, so it's a real shame to see it end like this because I think he was playing quite well before. I think it was a lot of his work rather than Bright's stuffing up.
Sure.
So.
But Bright's got the years of experience. He won't blow his composure whatsoever.
For sure. Especially, not even with years of experience, I think that ZXV is the least choke-prone player in this country. I don't feel like I've ever seen Bright actually choke. Maybe a Sydney player could tell me otherwise, having more experience against him, but he's just so consistent to me.
Do you find characters contribute to that?
I notice a pattern, but
I mean, I find
it's definitely not a rule or anything.
No, I just find Fox mains tend to like maybe like clubs mean so much more as Fox, but like
yeah,
it seems like
glass cannon characters like Fox Falco.
Yeah, they seem to choke a lot more than.
Yeah,
like
I think the Sheik players are pretty consistent with it, but it just depends on how technical you choose to be. Like, she can be nearly as technical as Fox. She can move real fast. She's got the needles turn around. Roll off from the edge, going to do it. Yeah, she can be really technical as well. So I see a lot of Sheik mains that are on the technical side of things, but upcoming, being choke lords. So
yeah. So
I just think Jigglypuff is the only character that, you know, if you're choking, what are you doing if you're choking as Jigglypuff, honestly?
I mean, you could be going for big rests.
Yeah, perhaps, but getting stuck in movement, I mean, as Jigglypuff, there's no great excuse.
Yeah,
except,
well, you get a lot of options to get around.
Yeah.
So that was a clean 2-0 and a handshake.
Yeah, really commendable effort from Ace. Gave us a pretty good set. So I really enjoyed game 1. I thought he was going to take it at one point.
Oh, he definitely had some great stuff. Hopefully you can go back and watch this VOD and reflect on the neutral options he made.
It's always good when you can reflect on what you did wrong, but also reflect on what you did right and get the motivation and see, you know, I do have this, you know, it's coming together.